Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we'll be looking at a scenario where Italy forms an empire. So without further ado, let's get straight into this now. The first event that we'll be happening today is Italy will be declaring war on Montenegro. The Italian troops and navy take the coast and so they start moving inland, they collapse the country, and in a peace treaty Montenegro will get fully annexed. Next event that will be happening is Italy will be invading Kosovo. This will be a three-way war, and Serbia will also be invading Kosovo to assert their claims. Kosovo gets quickly split and eventually divided up. And in a peace treaty, we see it split like this, and we'll also see Serbia still has their claim over the rest of it. The next event we'll see happening is Italian expansion to the Balkans is continued as they declare war on Bosnia. Now we see two other parties joining on this war now, the Serbians and the Croats. So we see that Italian forces move up into Bosnia from Montenegro as well as these, as Croatian forces start to just wrap around. Eventually the country is collapsed and the peace treaty looks like this, it's divided up like that. I feel like Croatia should have a longer coastline for some reason. I feel like it should look like that, but no, it's just because it's so weird. Anyways, there was never peace between these two. There was never actually peace. These guys are these two they just started fighting each other immediately after. As you see Serbian troops cross into Croatia, and they do really well as Croatia is completely taken by surprise. But we see them start pushing back. But then what the fuck? Serbia starts pushing in, and Croatia pushes in this way. And this begins to grow like that before the Croats start to see more success than the Serbs as they start pushing lots into the mainland. And we even see the Italians join in on this war as they start moving lots in, and Serbia starts to lose their intrusion. They fully lose their intrusion and they are folded by the Croatians. In peace treaty, we see the land get divided up by this. And now we see the Italians invade Slovenia. Just as they start moving in. But then Croatian troops move in and the peace treaty looks like this. Italy's getting quite pissed at them now. And they begin, and because they feel that all of this land here and here should be theirs, but no, they have this big fricker in the way. So they want to get rid of them from the map, and they think that they should all be Italian, basically. Anyways, they make a naval landing here and start to push in from there. This is a surprise attack. But then they begin the southern front line, and it starts moving up to a very big offensive as they even start a north front line. And eventually, they after they take out all of Serbia, they capitulate the nation. And the peace treaty looks like this. So all of Serbia is given to them, all of Slovenia is given, and they take this. They take this little piece here out of the Croatian mainland, as you can see. I also added that this island here feels like Elbrus or some shit. I just added it because that's Croatian. I forgot to add it. And the rest of it has become this Balkan puppet. Anyways, the next event we see happening is that Italy will be declaring war on Libya to get an African colony. They make three main landings. This one here, and this one here. They connect these two up and then take all of this. And then they make one big northern front line, and then since no one actually lives in this land, Libya is kind of forced to capitulate. In a peace treaty, obviously they're fully annexed. And the next event we see happening is something kind of unrelated to them. It's Spain falling into a civil war. We see the Catalonian region breaking away. And then we see the Basque and Galician region also break away. We see the Spanish try to retake Catalonia. But then we see that France is supporting the Basque one, and Italy decides to support the Catalan rebellion. So the invasions are made. The French set up this kind of border, and they're like to Spain, if you kind of like invade into here, we'll start just like fully invading into you. And Spain's like, okay. Anyways, we see that Italy's sending lots of troops into Catalonia, and they even make their own landing in the Balearic Isles. They take all of the Balearic Isles and make this landing here, which they then gift these lands to Catalonia. We then see Portugal decide to support the Galician rebellion, and they set up their own one here. And this is when we see that Spain gives independence to there, and these two leave the war. But we see that since they keep Spain, the central Spanish government keeps refusing independence to this and this rebellion, we see that the Italians start sending their full military in, and Galicians in anger, they start to move into Spanish territory out of their boundary, and the Portuguese start to make a spearhead intrusion into the nation, which goes really well as these two start to cripple Spanish military, and eventually they destroy Spain to a point that it collapses. In a peace treaty, we see this. Spain becomes an Italian puppet, Catalonia is an Italian puppet, and Italy gets the Gibraltar bit here and a bit of the Andalusian region there. The next event we see happening, so anyways, just for context, this is what Italy would look like if they had annexed their puppets. So they have the puppet here, obviously, and then they have the puppet here, the two puppets here. Anyways, the next event we see happening. Wait, no, I just returned it back. The next event we see happening is Italy declaring war on France, and the sides happen. France gets Ireland to join, who doesn't actually do anything because I forget about them. These three join because obviously this is like a puppet state of France. Belgium also joins, and Germany and the UK support Italy because they don't like France that much because of historical reasons. And let's start this war off. So we see that the Italians capture Corsica, and we see the German war machine activate as they make intrusions into Belgium and this region of France, which I forgot the name of. Oh, it's like Strasbourg, yes. So the Germans are going really well there, and we see the British make pass the English Channel and do that. I'm just gonna like kind of put Ireland out of the war, kind of just forget about them. Belgium gets capitulated, and we see that the English front is this, and the German front is this. And there's like this interlocking region where they're both working together. Oh my god, stop it. Anyways, down here, because Spain is kind of crippled, and these two regions aren't very well assimilated, the same as here, this is kind of crippled now because of the war. But these two guys, they're doing quite well. And same as Basque. So they start moving in by like this in context. This is like 10 years after the Spanish Civil War. And we see that up here, the Catalonians and Italians make naval footholds. So they start as they take the Mediterranean coast of the French. But over here we see that Iberia is definitely falling over to the Axis, or the Allies, I guess, because this is kind of the Axis because they're the aggressors, which isn't very good. Well, Iberia is not that important because most of it is kind of ruined after the Second Spanish Civil War. Anyways, we see the Italians do really well in capturing lots of eastern France, and we see the British make two lands. We can see that the Axis is doing really well in this war. Anyways, we see that the British and the Germans combined are doing really well. The Germans are doing this. but the Brits are taking control of most of this region, and they're doing a lot in the war. We see the French making a pushback here to regain Mediterranean coast. But we also see that the Italians lose their Gibraltar colony, as well as starting to get really cooked in Iberia, as the Axis gets completely pushed back. And we also see the French start to push back, which is not very good. But the Germans hit them straight back as they take control of all of this land, and they start. But the French just can't get into German occupied land. Their morale is too high. The German war machine is really taking its toll. We see the Italians regain Balearic Isles, and they start pushing really far into southeast France. And we also see that the Italians make landings in Catalonia and their colony, and they retake all of it. And they take all of France's Mediterranean coast again. These guys really start crippling France. They start liberating Iberia very quickly as it goes. Spanish puppet is taken, Basque is taken. All of it's liberated. Galicia and Portugal are starting to get cooked here as well. And eventually Portugal is the only remaining outpost, and they then collapse. So in a peace treaty of this war, we will see this happening. So Italy keeps all their puppets, but they also get this colony here. They take this bit of Basque, they take this bit of Portugal and Galicia, they also take this bit here. We see that Catalonia expands, surrounding Andorra. We also see that the Germans expand quite a bit, surrounding Belgium. Luxembourg. We see Belgium gets completely chopped off the map. Britain gets Brittany and I think Normandy colony. We also get this big chunk here. We also see that the Italians get all of this, which my dumbass must have forgotten to color in. My bad. Anyways, this is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.